Welcome back, creative beings, to yet another episode of the MV series. Once again, my name is Maria Von Sothen, and I'm your curator in chief. In today's episode, I will be introducing you guys to the super colorful world of makeup. And I want to focus this episode specifically on the uber talented celebrity and editorial makeup artist, Sam Visser, who's originally from Ventura, California, and is only 23 years young. Sam has painted the most famous faces in Hollywood, including the Kardashian family, Miley Cyrus, Bella Hadid, Alexa Damie, Kaya Gerber, and Cindy Crawford, as well as collaborated with amazing fashion outlets, guys, such as W Magazine and Pop Magazine, just to name a few, and iconic brands such as Balenciaga, Burberry, and Versace. Growing up, Sam felt a little bit out of place, I must say. He was surrounded by skaters and surfers, obviously, the California dream. He grew up reading Allure back issues and watching early makeup YouTube tutorials. He used to spend weekends on the MAC counter watching people buying their makeup and getting their makeup done in a mall close to his house. One day, he actually got so lucky, guys, because he spotted the famous makeup artist David Hernandez at a Makeup Forever boutique in Los Angeles. And well, he introduced himself, no shame in that game, baby. From this encounter, Hernandez actually ended up crazy so inviting Sam to shadow him at a David LaChapelle shoot. And for you guys that don't know, David LaChapelle is actually an iconic photographer of our generation. Honestly, I must say, I don't know if this encounter was chance or was fate, but once again, he got very lucky to have spotted Hernandez when he did. And I think it just comes to show as an example for us here creatives that you always have to take the chance when it presents itself to you. I think if he didn't introduce himself to Hernandez that day, right, he might have never made it to the industry, at least not as early as he did. So already a huge tip for you guys here is to always go after an opportunity when you see it, right? Because these opportunities sometimes, creatives, only pass you by once. And if you don't chase after them right away, they might not come back again. Anyways, Sam has described this encounter with Hernandez as true Hollywood magic. Hair, makeup, and costume, he has said, were larger than life. So many people doing every job on set that you could ever imagine. It was his first time seeing something like this, right? And honestly, I completely understand where he's coming from with this. Being exposed to the behind-the-scenes world for the first time, guys, is truly shocking and mesmerizing. At least it was for me. The first time I was in a video, I couldn't even believe the amount of people that were there. And I think it was a similar impression that Sam had that day. I think the closest thing that I can, tell you guys or have you guys relate to is like a first kiss, that butterflies in your stomach and you're just like so excited to have that experience. And when it happens, it's just like, wow, that was it. I can't believe this happened so seamlessly, and it's truly that feeling of like the butterflies and entering in a different world that you didn't experience before. And I think this was the fuel that Sam needed to his car, right? That added to his car to really go after this career in makeup. And after that opportunity, he actually started to assist other makeup artists for many, many other jobs. And he persisted in his craft so much that he was able to start participating in different editorials at the time and got a lot of different opportunities. And in 2014, he actually got his first official credit in Paper magazine. And fast forward, guys, to 2 years later, at only 16 years of age, Sam was commuting to Calabasas 5 times a week to do Kris Jenner's makeup. And believe it or not, she found Sam through Instagram. And I want to touch on something that I find important. I had already mentioned this in our set designer episode, but it's the importance of social media, Instagram today in this world, right? I believe Sam is another living example, guys, that putting your work out there, even when you don't have many followers or traction, right? It's truly important to keep persisting in that, to keep showing out your work, and to also keep reaching out to the people you dream of working with one day. Be patient, guys. That's so important. Patience, I think, is the key word to success. Resilience. Don't stop doing it just because not as many people are giving you likes or not as many people are reaching out to you, because you might be surprised that one day your dream client might respond to your DM or might simply stumble upon your work one day. Now, taking it back to Sam's story here, when he was working for Kris Jenner, and of course he was already doing a few of the other Kardashians makeup, the famous Mario de Divanovic, Mario, sorry if I'm not mentioning your name right, it's a beautiful name, or the famous Makeup by Mario on Instagram, who's Kim's OG makeup artist, right? The one that's been with her for, I think, at least 2 decades now, I would say, was giving Sam lessons in application technique at the time. When he started working with the Kardashians, he was actually pretty miserable at school because he obviously already felt like he found his purpose, right? I think you guys might relate to this, but when you know you're doing something you love, it's just like your heart is smiling, there's just like that thrill that you get, and you know that you're walking in the right path. And so, believe it or not, Sam is powerful here, guys, because he convinced none other than Kris Jenner to call his mom and ask her if he could pursue his studies now independently so he could fully focus on his craft. I think it is important to note here that when you realize your true purpose and passion is staring you right in your face, you gotta be courageous, as Sam did here, and dedicate yourself fully to your goals. I mean, he finished school regardless, right? Stay in school, kids. That's important. But he understood that he needed to make some changes and adapt to probably, have balance to be able to fully focus on what he wanted to achieve in life. Sometimes many people are under the false assumption that you need to go to school, right? To pursue a creative career, to really understand your craft. But guys, I want to explain something to you. Sometimes experience and exposure is the best teacher you will ever have. After working in LA for a while, right, Sam decided to do a pretty big move. He wanted to experience and explore more things and different projects with his craft, right? And there he started working more and more with fashion, with famous faces like Bella Hadid and Kaya Gerber. And believe it or not, guys, in a very short time frame, in 2021, he joined Dior as the brand's beauty ambassador. He has mentioned in the past that he's so incredibly thankful to Dior today because they never really tried to control his craft. And side note here that I think is important to tell you guys about, it's very difficult to not be micromanaged or instructed to do certain things with such a big brand as Dior is today. So I don't think it was only luck. It's obviously he's so talented that they trust him fully with his craft. But it's beautiful to see that brands are really letting these creatives today, take their art in paths and ways that they feel are important to them and will really, take the brand to a different level as well. And do you guys understand that this man literally was working for the most famous family in Hollywood? And even so, he decided to move, guys, across the country to pursue even higher dreams and goals, to be fully immersed in fashion, which was his true dream at the time. And guys, this is iconic. It's a huge example to never stop setting goals for yourself, even when you've already made it in the industry somehow, as he had. So never settle for just some success or for what other people around you think you should be doing. Not even the sky is the limit here. And I think Sam has set the bar pretty high for us here today. He was not afraid to make a change and take more chances on himself and on his talent, and neither should you. I would now love to talk to you guys a little bit about Sam's approach to his work and to his makeup. He always thinks about the character and their story when creating his looks, right? He wants to know the details of how these people live their lives, because that's obviously gonna affect, guys, the way he draws an eyeliner on, the way he applies a lipstick, or even brushes a blush on their face. And I have to say, I absolutely loved to read that because it becomes clear here that Sam brings more to his makeup and more to his work than just painting someone's face, right? He really wants to go deep and tell a story here. His idea, he has said previously, guys, is not to hide, but instead to highlight something from within through his work. And I must say that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to bring Sam to you guys today. He truly has been a huge agent of change in his field for his incredible contribution of taking his work beyond the established norms and constraints previously established in his industry today. He's a true innovator and pioneer, guys, because sometimes we are under the impression that for us to be successful, right, we have to somewhat conform to the rules or to the ways things have been done in the past to be able to fit in and get our work to shine through, right? But that's absolutely incorrect, guys, because that might even end up blocking our full artistic expression here, guys, to shine through fully and set ourselves apart in this industry. I also stumbled on some incredible advices I saw Sam giving in the past, which I wanted to share with you creatives here today. He has spoken about everyone having a voice inside their head saying, I can do it. But he says you have to silence that voice and think, I do know what I'm doing. Manifestation has also been an incredibly important part of Sam's career, and I must say of mine too. I keep telling my team daily here, guys, let's manifest, let's believe in this, because when you don't put the things out in the world, when you don't meditate about them, really believe in them, it's much less probable that the things you want to happen will happen for you. He's mentioned you have to believe what you want is yours before it actually is. So my point being here, guys. And finally, he believes that this is a great time to be a creative, as you can be whoever you want to be and create whatever you find beautiful. And I have to say, Sam touched on a really important point here for me as a person and as a creative myself, because I really believe everybody suffers at some point in their life of imposter's syndrome, right? I've even suffered of this myself. I'm always gonna be honest here. And it's the truth. We all go through it, right? And I couldn't agree more that during those times, we have to be our own cheerleader and our biggest cheerleader. And guys, I know this is a common saying and it might be cheesy for some of you, but if you don't believe in yourselves and in your potential, who will? And sometimes we just have to go for it, even if we haven't done it before, because you don't know what you're capable of truly until you try it, guys. And that's a fact. So do not set the bar low for yourselves ever. It's all about being fearless, even when you're scared and afraid, because by taking the biggest chances and sometimes the riskier chances is when you end up getting the biggest rewards. Finally, I would love to give a major, super, ultra shout out to makeup artist Sharon Gold, best known for her work with Madonna and Lady Gaga. She's one of Sam's main supporters and mentors in the past. And he has said that she introduced him to many industry players and makeup companies. And looking back, guys, he mentioned once that he was pretty surprised by it, especially in today's world where people are not as quick to show others off, to their connections or to the people in the industry even. And this is one of the main reasons I even decided to bring the MV series to life here for all of us, right? The industry, as I've said before in my initial episode, is very competitive and very tightly kept under wraps. So seeing someone as major as Sharon today showing full support to Sam, guys, is not only amazing, but it's beautiful and touching to see. This is what I hope to see a lot more of in the near future in our industries today. I think our beauty industry prodigy here has taught us some really important things today. One, when you know what you want, guys, don't wait a second longer to go for it. You always know what your soul wants and desires, and it is crucial to always follow that gut feeling, right? Two, don't constrain your art and work to predetermined industry standards. If anything, push those boundaries as far as you can, because that is probably what will truly take your craft and legacy to that next level that you want to get to. Third and final point here, guys, don't settle for something just because you've already acquired some success there, right? Keep aiming higher no matter what anybody says or thinks. You are the one that sets your goals and dreams, and you can always aim higher. Sam is a true example to follow here, guys. His ability to push higher and always dream bigger is truly impressive. I hope you guys connected with Sam today just as much as I have when I was in his rabbit hole researching him and really understanding his history. And before I leave you guys, I would like to remind you that the MV series is available every Wednesday on all our platforms: Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast. We also have additional content on our socials on Instagram and TikTok under the MV series, and also under my personal Instagram account at Maria von Sothen. Guys, once again, please don't forget to subscribe and show us that love so we can keep showing ours right back to you. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday right here at the MV series.